In Wild Gardens, players are aspiring foragers picking up ingredients along their walks, cooking up delicious meals, and serving it to guests. Players will go on 2 trips in the game, and each trip consists of 3 days. On turn, the active player will place an action token on one of the 3 action areas on their player board. Action tokens show numbers 1 through 4, and the number selected will affect several things, possibly. Each time an action is selected, you must move your forager the depicted number of spaces exactly, following the arrows of the path they are on, skipping over any other foragers on the board. Once your forager is moved, you will take the action you selected. One action you can take is to forage. Each space on the board will be surrounded by 3 source tokens, which give you access to ingredients. During a forage action, you may collect 1 ingredient matching one of the source tokens. These ingredient types are fungus, fruits, nuts and seeds, flowers, leaves, bark and stems, roots, and aquatic plants, and they will be used in various dishes you can make. Once you have some ingredients, you may want to make a dish. This action space can be instead used to serve guests, but both can only happen if you are on a space with a picnic table. When going to cook, you can take any card from the card row by turning in all the ingredients listed on that card. You will immediately score the points listed for making that item, and it will go below your player board to your cooked recipes. Each meal will fall into a category of breakfast, lunch, dinner, dessert, or a drink and can be used to serve your guests. Guests can be served if you find yourself at a picnic table and take that action. Each guest will have a preference of food category or categories that they would like to eat, and if you have the matching recipe or recipes, you can discard those cooked recipes in order to collect that guest and place them in your player area. Guests will score you any points listed on their card when you collect them, and they will often come with a benefit that occurs when they are served, when they are discarded, or at the end of the game. Many guests have jars on their cards as well, which can come into play at the end of each day. The final action allows you to reserve a card so only you can make use of it, or instead you can study. Here you find yourself in a library where you can take and return books. To return a book, there must be an empty space for a book matching the number of the action token you just played. Next, you can take any book matching one of the source tokens surrounding your forager. Next to each book is a skill token which can be attached to your player board, making your actions stronger. Once you have skill tokens on your board, they will activate anytime you choose the action they are attached to, and they may allow you to do extra forage actions, collect ingredients, make ingredient trades, and more. At the end of each day, you will rest. Here you must turn in one of your action tokens and take a bonus matching the number of the action token. This may give you ingredients, special actions, or the ability to move your jar on the scoring track. When moving your jar, you move 1 time for each jar you have in your player area. There is always 1 printed on your player board, and many guests come with a jar printed on them. As you can see, jars are not in every space of the score track, so this is a good way to rack up some serious points. Now it's time for the next day to begin, and each player has 1 less action token. After 3 days, the first trip has ended. Here you will wipe out the card market and clear and redistribute the source tokens, as well as change out the location of the trip. Each location provides different benefits to start the trip, and you will visit 2 locations in each game. After players have played through 2 complete trips, the game is over. Now you will combine the scores of your jar and pollinator, add in any points from guests that score at the end of the game, and finally every 4 leftover ingredients is worth a point, and the player with the most points wins.